Alrighty guys, we are back with Once Burned. This is Night Prince, Once Burned, and we're on chapter 17 of 22. So we're going to get right to it, see what awaits us here. Here we go. Alrighty guys, Vlad's future. The vision of Vlad's death hits you with a force strong enough to knock you to your knees. I can't die like this. The explosion hurls rocks down onto Vlad's, crushing him. You let out a scream, the vision fading as you return to reality. Vlad kneeling by your side in a second one, hand gingerly on your shoulder. Amber, what is it? You're going to die. I'm just going to tell him you're going to die. Let's tell him. I highly doubt that. You will if you leave now. Quickly you explain to him what you saw. Zagala spies rigged the chapel and the mountain with explosives. A short laugh escapes him. Yes, this whole attack is designed to bring you there and then kill you. Interesting. He knows I'd come to assist my men. He must have planned this for weeks to have sufficient charges to bring down the mountain. Gotta love an evil mastermind. Now the question is how we handle this. Let's see. Defuse the bombs. Do you have to go? How was he able to set this up? Let's do how he was able to set this up. Likely with inside help, a project of this scale would have taken a massive amount of time and effort. Impossible to pull off my borders without inside help. Maximus. Yes, sire. Take Sharpnail and 4 others to the chapel. I think Sharpnail's the one. He's the one I don't trust. Only one of you is to enter at a time to secure prisoners and collect our dead and make it clear they are not me. You're being watched, but Zagala won't detonate the charges unless he sees me there. He can only bring down the mountain once. Maximus bows to him, though while he does, you catch his gaze lingering on you. Vlad waits until Maximus leaves before turning back to you. I never thought a woman would come between us, but you might. If Maximus wasn't loyal to the last drop of blood in his body, I'd kill him for how he looks at you. You're being paranoid. I'm not sure I trust him. Don't be jealous. Let's do that. This isn't about jealousy. If you wanted him, you'd be with him. This is a matter of loyalty. Regardless, there's still one more matter to be addressed. We have to find the people who set the charges. If they were able to do this in my territory, they'll likely do something similar again. Even worse, if they are among those I trust, how do we do that? Well, I was hoping you'd be able to. You've already accused the vision of Sharpnail going down. Wait a minute. You've already accessed the vision of Sharpnail going down. Could you follow the thread within it to locate the detonators, I guess, whatever. So what happened here, people, is I downloaded an app. It said I was going to get 22 diamonds, and somehow I got 1,327. So you know what that means? We can use them. So I'm going to find the people who are trying to kill you. Here we go. The threads are faint, beyond faint, really, but they're there. You reach into the memory, pulling on possible futures, and now fading past until finally you find them. The Abbey, the mountain, the bombs, and finally the bomb makers. Got them. You give a quick description to Vlad, describing them as best you can. And one of them has a deep scar under his left eye. The other has some kind of scorpion tattoo. You said the first one was blonde, correct? Yeah, you know who they are? Vlad smiles is sharp enough to cut through the very air itself. Oh yes, they will pay dearly for this transgression. I'm just glad we're able to deal with them now instead of later. Who knows what trouble they could have caused. You did wonderful, Amber. He gives you another kiss, this one sweet and full of longing. I'll be back soon. You're headed out? To apprehend the men you just described. Don't worry, I don't plan on heading to the chapel. I know exactly where to find them. Stay safe. Vlad lets out another chuckle. Zagala needed to bring a mountain on me to try to stop me, and I'm even more powerful when prepared. And with that, he's gone. That man has the devil's own ego. And that arrogance could turn out to be his Achilles heel if Zagala exploits it. I just have to do whatever I can to make sure it doesn't come to that. I didn't know he was this arrogant. Let's see, hours pass while you wait for Vlad, and each moment feels tenser than the last. I hope he's okay. The sound of the front door slamming practically makes you jump. You rush down to the entrance hall. Still, as fast as you are, you only catch a glimpse of a bloody Maximus and sharp Nell escorting a dozen prisoners past. More vampires you don't recognize appear and disappear just as quickly, one of them cradling a body you recognize. One with arcing familiar curly hair. Oh, it's Ben. They must have brought the body back for a funeral. Ben, I'm so sorry this happened to you. The people who did this will pay. I can't imagine how the others will take this. Let's do that. Vlad appears almost as if summoned by thoughts. It will motivate them to grow stronger. Vlad, I was terrified something was going to happen to you. I know I warned you about the bombs, but seeing you die like that, I know, but I'm here now. He embraces you, and nothing's going to happen. There has to be some way we can put a stop to this, some method to finish Zagala for good. Right now, our best method is to pursue the leads we have. We managed to round up a lot of his associates thanks to you. Really? Oh yes, I'm very proud of you, Amber. You did wonderfully. Now it's just a matter of interrogating the lot of them myself to see what else they know. What if I let Zagala capture me and then I linked back to you? That would never work. Even if he didn't have his men kill you on sight, Zagala won't let you discover where he is. He'd make sure you were unconscious before you were transported to his location. Before you arrived, he'd have you stripped of any objects, clothes included, that you could link through. Then I'll smuggle something in my mouth. I'll fry myself. Have some of your men tell me, let's do that. I suppose that would be possible. Still, the risk would be far too great. I don't effing believe it. You swerve around to see your sister Gretchen stride into the room. I forgot they was even there. Why is it always how things go with you? Amber, you're always hurting yourself. Get it? You're always hurling yourself into danger without thought of how it's going to affect everyone else. Do you have any concept of how badly it would hurt all of us if you died? How badly it would hurt me? Gretchen, not now. Not what? A good time? It never is with you, Amber. But since you seem so intent on getting yourself killed again, I'm not waiting. So here's a newsflash. You're not the only one whose life went to shit when Mom died. And if Dad's going emotionally chaotic afterwards wasn't bad enough, you also started shoving me away. I just wanted a sister, and as soon as you came out of that coma, it was like you didn't want to be part of our family anymore. Shoving you away, I was busy trying to cope with Mom getting killed and electrocuting everyone I touched, remember? Know what I remember coming home from school and finding you with that razor and stopping you before you... She starts to cry. I almost lost it, and then, as soon as you get better, you left. I should open up to Gretchen, repair the relationship. Let's do that. Let's open up. I was wrong, Gretchen. I couldn't see past my own pain, so I let it swallow me up. By the time I fought through it, you wanted nothing to do with me and Dad, and I was wrapped up in Dad was wrapped up in his job again. Marty was all I had. I abandoned you, you're right. But this isn't me throwing my life away. This is me trying to not make the same mistake twice. I'm not abandoning Marty. I'm not abandoning anyone anymore. How am I supposed to trust Dracula over there with my sister's life? Not Dracula, Vlad, former Valdita of Wakandia. Also the most arrogant, deadly, frightening man I've ever met. Compliments won't sway me. You take those as compliments? Of course, she named all of my best qualities. Gretchen surprises you, hugging you from behind as you talk to Vlad. Just please promise you'll be careful whatever happens. Of course. I love you. I love you too. This is all very touching, but I'm afraid Amber won't be taking any risks at all. Not while there is even a chance of harm befalling her. My people will continue to search the area. If she's needed something else tonight, you'll find me in the dungeon doing what I do best. And with that, Vlad is gone. The one upside of your vampire lover being occupied with his gruesome task is that it gives you plenty of time to think. A hot bath and 3 glasses of wine later, you're almost starting to feel a bit little stressed. However, a knock on your door soon brings that to an end. Please don't be more bad news. To your surprise, it's your father who enters. Amber, we need to talk. Gretchen must have told him about earlier. Where is she? In the dungeon, torturing the hell out of the enemy. And this is the man you'd risk your life for. I'm doing it for Marty. Of course. What's that supposed to mean? Just that you've made it very clear that he's the father you wish you had. Look, it's fine if you hate me. I failed your mother and I wasn't there after your accident. What are you talking about? Deep down, I've known there was never really any question as to who was responsible for your mom leaving and her subsequent death. Me. If I had been a better husband, maybe she'd have stayed. Maybe she wouldn't have been there when the power line went down. And he pauses, taking a moment to compose himself before continuing. So please, even though Marty was a better father to you than I, don't expose yourself to more vampires trying to save him. Keep pushing me, I deserve it, but don't endanger yourself more than you already have. That means a lot, Dad. This isn't about you. That means a lot, Dad. Just the fact that you could admit all that means more than you know. It's the honest truth. I think we both failed Mom, really. But if she were here now, she'd be telling us to get over it already. She'd say that nothing was more important than our family sticking together. And I want to listen to her now like I did back then, but I can't. He grabs you, pulling you against him in a hug despite the electrical current that makes him shudder. You gesture down at his leg. A bomb blew your convoy apart and crippled your knee, but you still crawled towards the survivors. I'm going to find the vampire who captured Marty, but it's not because I think he was a better father. It's because I'm the daughter of the man who refused to abandon the people he felt responsible for. Amber. For the first time since your mother died, you want to watch your father's eyes begin to well with tears. Even when he was outgunned, bleeding, and only able to crawl. God, you're as stubborn as your mother. She was stubborn, wasn't she? Your father opens his mouth to reply, but as soon as he does, Vlad enters the room. I don't care who or what you are, Vlad. You fail to protect her or try using her as homing device on your enemy, and I'll find a way to kill you. Oh, I always protect what's mine. Let's see, Vlad, I trust you to protect me. Let's do that. You turn to your father. You haven't seen Vlad in action yet, Dad. He's not kidding. Is that so? Vlad looks at you appreciatively, placing an arm around your shoulder. Indeed, I have ruled for a very long time, Hugh. And in that time, many have tried to put me down for good. None have succeeded. Look, Dad, these vampires are going to be after me no matter what. They want my power, and there's nothing we can do to change that. Vlad is their best chance at surviving this. He knows how to fight them, how to kill them. Vlad ignites a small flame in his hand for emphasis. I can assure you that your daughter is safe with me. Maybe you have a point. Your dad glances at you, sighs in a way that indicates his disapproval of the relationship, and leaves. You close the door behind him, waited until you're sure he's out of earshot before turning back to Vlad. Done interrogating the prisoners? Let's just do that. I am. The others aren't. He slips past you, making his way over to the shower. He slips off his clothes and steps in, almost not noticing that you're there. The hiss of hot water follows soon after your eyes drink him in. Glistening wetness highlights every ripple, hollow, and bulge across his body. Long, thickly muscled legs set off the twin mounds of an ass that practically dares you to stare at it. You do not. You do until he takes a bar of soap and begins rubbing lather all over himself. White suds cling to strong arms draped across his broad shoulders and gathering in the hollow of his sculpted chest. The soap slides down the dark trail on his stomach before crowning in the cusped hair of his groin. When your gaze meets his eyes are bright green and primal, making a shiver run through you that has nothing to do with chill air. Care to join me? This is YouTube, so we have to let him shower alone. As enticing as that offer is, I'll pass. I have much on my mind. He gives a simple shrug. Suit yourself. He washes himself, and you do your best to avert your eyes from his steaming body. Finally, the shower comes to an end. He steps out, toweling himself dry before finally getting dressed. As the two of you stand in the now cooling air, Vlad turns to you. I've given some thought to your request. You mean my plan to rescue Marty? Yes. And I believe I've found a way you can help after all. So there it is, people. Another chapter done. So we'll see you guys as always tomorrow. So, we can't really do those kind of scenes on YouTube. I just don't want to take no chances of it. But we can do all the other stuff. We got a lot of gems to use now. So as always, guys, thanks so much for watching. And if you want to play the game yourself, you can do those scenes for yourself. So give the video a thumbs up. As always, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Toodles!